Madam Speaker, as rightly pointed out by the Honourable Minister, the Bus Industry Employees Welfare Fund bill was introduced in this House under an MSM government in 2002. And it could not be a surprise when we know at that time the Honourable leader of the MMM, Honourable Paul Béranger, was Minister of Finance. And we know his association with the struggle for the welfare of the workers of the bus industry. So in 2002, we introduced the bill in the House, and subsequently, when Honourable Béranger became Prime Minister, we came with an amendment to increase the number of workers' representatives on the board. So we in the MMM, we are very comfortable, and we are for the welfare of workers generally, and today we are talking about workers in the bus industry. At that time the bill was introduced, we were informed by the then Minister that there were around 7,700 workers in the bus industry and 1,700 employees were in the private and in the companies and the private sector. So we want to know operators. There were 1,700 buses probably on the road. So we want to know today from the Honourable Minister. The Honourable Minister has come and tell us that we have to increase the contribution, of course. I'll come to that later. But we want to know what is the status of the bus industry today. How many buses, how many contributors we have from owners, and how many workers are being employed in the bus industry. I heard the Honourable Minister mention that some around 6,000. I don't know whether he was referring to 6,000 workers in that industry or 6,000 contributors. Because our bus industry today is in fact our public transport, and its contribution to the development of the economy is enormous. At that time we created the Bus Industry Welfare, Bus Industry Employees Welfare Fund. The government then made a contribution of 1 million rupees for the opening of the fund, but today it is being run solely on the contribution from the workers and bus owners. And this is why it is important for us to know how many workers we have, how many bus owners we have, the more so that we are coming with a métro. And there is a climate of uncertainty in the bus sector today. So if there is a reduction in the number of bus operators, and in a reduction in the number of workers in that industry, so there will be a great challenge for the welfare of the employers, of the workers, if we rely solely on the contribution of those operating in that sector. And when I say we know the importance of its contribution to our national economy, so it is important now that we reflect on that fund itself, and whether time has not come for government to make an annual contribution to that fund. The more so, as I say, it is our public transport. Its contribution to the development of our economy is enormous. We know how many workers travel by bus every day to go to their work, to produce, to bring economic growth. So it is important, I think, that now government, we have, at that time, like I say, when it was introduced, there was only 1 million given by the then Minister of Finance, Paul Béranger. But then up to now, that fund has been run solely on the contribution of workers and bus owners. We know that we have one example. I'm not inventing the wheel. The Sugar Industry Labour Welfare Fund. Government do contribute annually, and this year it is 5 billion rupees to that fund for its administration costs, which is good. Because if there is one cost which goes on the increase every year, it's administrative costs. And when we look at the last audit report of the bus industry employees welfare fund, ended 31 December 2015. If we look at the revenue is around 8 million. Revenue side. The staff cost is 2.8 million. And the administrative expenses is around 1.5 million. So out of, round the figures, out of 8 million we are having, 4.2 million goes solely on administrative and staff costs. Nearly 45% of the revenue. And only 55% is left for the welfare of the workers. And when we know that one of the objectives of the welfare fund is to cater not only for the families, but also to retired employees. I've been informed that when employees retired, because of lack of fund, they get only what they have contributed, not what the bus owners have contributed. And we know this is unfair. This is not, although they are doing their best. My learned friend, the Honorable Minister, has listed a list of activities which we can find in the audit report that they are doing. Good. But are they financially sustainable? Are we increasing the fund today because administrative costs has increased, or there is less contribution coming in? And if less contribution is coming in, it is important that government think about helping that fund, because we will always have bus workers with the metro, without the metro. Probably we will have less with the metro when the metro becomes operative. But we have to cater for that welfare fund. This is why I think it is important that government, today we are coming to with an increase of contribution from the owners of the bus and the workers, but I think government should seriously consider making an annual contribution towards the administrative cost of the fund, so that at the end of the day, 100%, or if we can't achieve 100%, at least 80% of the sum contributed by the workers themselves goes to the welfare and the benefit of the workers. So for today, we don't have any objection that that contribution is being increased, but I think government seriously should start thinking about giving a contribution to that fund, as we do for the Sugar Industry Labour Welfare Fund, and I understand with other funds as well. It's about time that we contribute to the administrative costs, because as I said, it is our public transport, and they contribute enormously to the development of the country.